Hey everyone, to begin today's third grade lesson, we will start off with handling some equations that involves money, aka decimals. So the instructions just say how much more than $100. So that indicates that we're trying to solve a missing amount, right? So for example, like number one. So we're trying to see how much more until $75.10 becomes 100. In order for that, we have to add something, right? But how do we find this something? We just simply have to subtract. So 100, and since there's two decimals, we also want to put two decimals. So remember, when adding or subtracting decimals, your answers should have the amount of decimals from or that correlates with the most decimals, which is basically the 0.10 on the $75.10. So in order to get two decimals, you want to put two decimals on every number we subtract. Anyways, as I was continuing, so now we just subtract. So we borrow, and borrow. So 0, 9, 4, 2. So we need $24.90 more in order to get $100. Moving on, find the missing numbers in the pattern. So we see that there are a lot of missing numbers in these different problems, in these different patterns. So let's try number 3. Something a little more seems a little more complex. So we have 3, 6 blank, 12, 15, 18 blank blank. Well, let's look at the pattern between 3, 6, 12, 15, and 18. Well, we see that clearly 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. And it's kind of the same for 12 and 15, you know? When you add 3 to 12, it's 15, and when you add 3 to 15, it's 18. So we can only assume that the pattern continues with plus 3. So let's continue that. So let's do 6 plus 3, which is 9. And 18 plus 3 is 21. And once again, 21 plus 3 is 24. Something a little more complicated, such as number 6. So we jump. We don't even go with the smallest value. We just jump to a bigger value. So we have 16 blank blank, 48, and blank. Well, unfortunately, we can only base our pattern on one thing, which is the 40 and 48, which is plus 8. So we can only assume for now that the pattern will continue with the plus 8 because we don't have any other clue. So let's just continue it. So 16 plus 8 is 24. 24 plus 8 is 32. And when you see 32 plus 8 is 40. So we know that we found the correct pattern. So we just continue. So 48 plus 8 is 56. Moving on. Now this is just reading multiplication. So in comparison to the last lesson, these are a little harder, but I just want to make sure you guys are able to still multiply quickly, just because multiplying is a very big thing in any future math levels, and you need to make sure that you can multiply quickly in your head. Same goes for addition and subtraction and division, but I think especially multiplication. So this is just a quick review. And lastly, let's work on word problem. So this is word problems that involve data. So Mrs. Kim drew a bar graph of the colors that children liked in her class. The vertical columns mentions the number of students and the horizontal columns mention the colors. Okay, perfect. So colors and number of students. Perfect. It's already labeled as well. So let's just do all of these. These seem very simple. So these go by tens. And so we see that all of these answers also go by 10. So let's see. How many students like the color pink? So this is just pink alone. So we see that this is pink, obviously. And this shows that there are about 50 students who like the color pink. The line is very messy, but if you just think about an imaginary line, it will hit the number 50. So 50 students. How many students like the students like purple and red? So purple, as we see here, has 10, and then plus, and then we see red, which is 30, which equals 40 students who like purple and red. Okay, moving on. How many students are there in the class? So we gotta now just add everything. Okay, so let's see. There is 20, 30, 10, 40, 20, and 50. So let's just add all these numbers up. So we have 20 plus 30 plus 10 plus 40 plus 20 plus 50. And when you add all those up, you get 170 students. And oh, okay. This goes over here, this goes over here. I have no idea what I'm thinking. So just cross this out and let's think this one as number 4. So how many more students like pink than yellow? So let's see how many pink there is. So 50. And since we're comparing, we're obviously going to be subtracting. And 20 yellow students. And so that is 30 students. So the answers are a little mixed up. My apologies. But yeah, I indicated where the arrows are supposed to be. And I hope this all made sense, and thank you for listening.